Hi, welcome back into snookersystem.com's YouTube channel, the place where you come for hints and tips as to how to play snooker better. Now in this video, we're going to be looking at breaking the pack off a high blue. This is a great shot to have in your locker and to learn how to play. Now, before you play this shot, the first thing you have to do is consider the pack. Are they tightly packed? Or are they loosely packed? Now in this case, we've got quite a lot of reds that are all tightly packed together. Now that means that we're going to have to go into them with some pace in order to open them up. If they were loosely packed, so not so many reds and a little bit further apart from each other, you wouldn't want to play it with so much pace, because if you did, you'd send the reds all over the table, and that's not really what we want. We want the reds to stay in the scoring end of the table to help us complete and compile a large break after we've opened them. But for this shot, we need to go into them with some pace. And I'm going to play these shots at, let's say, 70% power, each of them, so that we can see what result we get with the cue ball. Now, of course, other than power, the other element that affects the path of a cue ball is spin. So where we actually strike the cue ball. And I'd like you to do some experiments when you're practicing this shot, just to see what actually happens when you play it at different heights. So I'm going to play the shot first of all right in the center. So dead center of the cue ball, sort of 5 out of 10 if you're saying that there are 10 points of contact on the vertical line. So right in the middle, 70% power. Just going to try and pot the blue and see what happens to the cue ball. So we can see there that when we played that shot, the cue ball actually went to the right hand side of the pack of reds. And the reason for that was I was playing it with a fair amount of power, which meant that the cue ball traveled in the direction that it was already traveling in. And because it didn't have any backspin on the ball, it didn't pull the cue ball back towards the pack of reds. So let's try another experiment. I didn't get any backspin that time, so this time I'm going to make sure that I play the shot with more backspin and see what result we get this time. Same 70%, but I'm going to strike down low on the cue ball. So as you can see, when I played that shot, I played it with backspin because I didn't want it to miss to the right. But I clearly played with too much backspin because the cue ball came forwards, but then the spin started to take and pulled it away from the reds, and it missed on the left-hand side. So that was too low on the cue ball. So if number 5, right in the center of the cue ball, was too high, and number 1 at the bottom of the cue ball was too low, then we need to be somewhere in between. Now remember, I'm playing this with some power, so I'm going to come up the cue ball to a number 3 position. And we're going to see if that stops the cue ball from spinning too far away from the reds and actually goes into the pink, which is what we're looking for. So up the cue ball, not right in the middle, not at the bottom, but 30% of the way up the cue ball. Okay. So as you can see, that time we've potted the ball into the center of the pocket, and the cue ball has tracked and actually struck the pink. Now, in truth, it struck slightly on the right-hand side of the pink, but that doesn't matter, because if we actually look at what's happened to the reds now, we can see that we're on this red into the corner pocket. Previously, none of these reds would have gone anywhere, but we're now in a position where we can pot that red, play a little screw shot off the side cushion, onto the black, pot the black, and then there's another red back to the black, and these are now nicely open. So when you're playing that shot, when you're practicing, please just try different heights on the cue ball and be aware of what's happening to the cue ball with those different heights. Now, if you play it with less power, then you need to play, again, a different spin on the cue ball. And that's something that you are going to learn through trial, error, and practice. But at Snooker System, we take you through in detail how to play this shot and every shot on the snooker table. So if you head over to snookersystem.com, we'd love to see you there and also take part in the community where we've already got lots and lots of people talking about what's happening in the game of snooker. I hope you enjoyed that video. We've got lots more on the YouTube channel of snookersystem.com, so please like, subscribe and hit that bell, and we'll see you back very soon.